What if I told you that the Montreal Canadiens' path to playoff contention might hinge on a single deadline move that could either catapult them into relevance or leave them wondering, what if for another season? The hockey world is buzzing with speculation, and for good reason. The Canadiens find themselves at a crossroads that every rebuilding franchise faces. When do you stop accumulating assets and start making the moves that transform potential into performance? According to a compelling new trade pitch from Heavy.com, that moment might arrive sooner than expected, with Charlie Coyle emerging as the centerpiece of Montreal's next chapter. Picture this scenario. It's March 2025, the trade deadline looms large, and the Columbus Blue Jackets are mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. Charlie Coyle, the versatile 32-year-old center currently earning $31.5 million over 6 years, becomes the most coveted rental on the market. Enter the Montreal Canadiens, armed with assets and desperate for that elusive second-line center who could finally unlock their offensive potential. The proposed trade reads like a chess match between two front offices playing for different timelines. Montreal would surrender promising young defenseman Jayden Struble, along with a 2026 second-round pick, ironically Columbus's own pick from the Patrick Lane trade, and a fourth-round selection. In return, they'd land Coyle, whose blend of size, experience, and two-way reliability could instantly transform their center depth. But here's where the story gets fascinating. This isn't just about filling a roster spot. This is about the Canadiens making a statement that their rebuild has reached the acceleration phase. 23-year-old Jayden Struble represents everything modern NHL rebuilds are built upon: young talent, upside, and cost control. His 13 points in 56 games last season might not jump off the page, but his $2.825 million contract over 2 years screams value in today's salary cap landscape. For Montreal, however, Struble's path to significant ice time remains murky behind an increasingly crowded blue line. Columbus, meanwhile, would view Struble as exactly the type of player their organization needs, a young defenseman who could slot into their second or third pairing while providing the kind of foundational piece that builds sustainable success. The Blue Jackets aren't just trading Coyle for rental value, they're investing in their future defensive core. The beauty of this potential exchange lies in its mutual benefit. Montreal gets immediate help at a position of need, while Columbus adds youth and gets back draft capital they previously sacrificed. It's the kind of deadline deal that makes both fan bases cautiously optimistic. Charlie Coyle's career arc tells the story of a player who's consistently found ways to contribute, regardless of his surroundings. His 35 points last season, 17 goals, 18 assists, might seem modest, but context matters enormously. Those numbers came while adapting to a new system in Colorado before being dealt to Columbus in a summer shakeup that caught many observers by surprise. Blue Jackets general manager Don Waddell's comments when acquiring Coyle revealed the organization's initial optimism. Charlie is an experienced, two-way player that adds size and versatility to our group. Fast forward to the day, and if Columbus finds itself out of playoff contention, that same versatility makes Coyle incredibly attractive to contending teams. For Montreal, Coyle represents something they've desperately lacked: center depth that allows other players to flourish in their natural roles. While he might be penciled in as a second-line center, his greatest value could come as a third-line anchor who elevates everyone around him. Imagine the defensive matchup nightmares opposing coaches would face with legitimate scoring threats spread across 3 lines. Perhaps the most intriguing subplot involves Canadiens executive Jeff Gorton's public stance on the center position. His recent comments suggest organizational comfort with their current roster. "We have centers in our organization, and we're comfortable with that going into camp." But hockey executives speak in calculated phrases, and comfortable doesn't necessarily mean satisfied. The elephant in the room remains Kirby Dach's health concerns. While Dach possesses the skill set to anchor Montreal's second line, his injury history creates legitimate questions about long-term reliability. If Dach suffers another significant injury, Gorton's comfort level might evaporate quickly, making a player like Coyle not just attractive but essential. This internal tension between stated patience and practical necessity creates the perfect storm for a deadline deal. Organizations often maintain public positions that differ from their private evaluations, especially when valuable trade assets might be listening. Every successful NHL franchise faces the same fundamental question. When does accumulating talent transition into leveraging talent? The Canadiens have spent years collecting draft picks, developing prospects, and building organizational depth. At some point, however, that patient approach must evolve into strategic aggression. Trading for Coyle would signal Montreal's belief that their window is opening sooner than many expect. It's the type of move that acknowledges their young core. Players like Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield, and Uri Slavkovsky needs veteran support to reach the next level. Championship teams aren't built solely through the draft. They're constructed through intelligent trades that balance present needs with future flexibility. The financial aspect adds another layer of intrigue. Coyle's expiring contract provides Montreal with flexibility while delivering immediate impact. If the chemistry works, they could explore an extension. If not, they've gained valuable playoff experience without long-term commitment. As we approach the 2025 trade deadline, this proposed Coyle trade represents more than just roster manipulation. It symbolizes the Canadiens' evolution from rebuilding to competing. The pieces are aligning for Montreal to make meaningful moves, and Coyle's combination of skill, experience, and availability makes him the perfect catalyst. The coming months will reveal whether Montreal's patience finally gives way to calculated aggression, or if they remain committed to their methodical rebuild. Either choice carries risk, but in today's NHL, standing still often proves more dangerous than moving forward. What do you think? Are the Canadiens ready to trade youth for experience, or should they continue building through the draft? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and smash that like button if you're as excited as we are about Montreal's potential moves this deadline season. The next few months could define the Canadiens' trajectory for years to come.